might think that that was a clickbait title, all right? And maybe a little bit, it's a little clickbaity, but it is true. These lures are probably some of the best lures you can use right now, and you're probably not. And that ain't your fault, but let me see if I can change your mind. Definitely not sponsored by Strike King whatsoever, okay? Not in a million years would Strike King ever sponsor me. But as a fan of Japanese baits and the dice bait and the fuzzy bait game, I love Japanese baits. Lived there a long time, love Japanese stuff, love Japanese bass fishing. I follow more Japanese bass fishing than I do American bass fishing. As anglers, we are always bombarded with game changers, right? Everything's a game changer. Every eye cast, every product is a game changer. And when everything's a game changer, nothing becomes a game changer, right? One way or the other, wherever you're set, let me see if I can change your mind. Because I really think that these are the best lure that's out on the market right now. And I say that because bass remember a lot more than we think. And they see the same lure over and over and over again. How many of you go out there and throw a jig in a brush pile? We've got into our mind that it's a tried and true method. Not thinking that bass might actually evolve to understand that, hey, my ancestors, right? Let's take it that way. My ancestors got tricked this way. I'm sure that they're getting used to this stuff, right? So when another bait comes out that's a little bit different, we should give it a shot. You should give it a shot. And I have. I embrace the weird Japanese baits because they don't care. They don't care about your opinion. They want to know if it's going to catch fish. And fuzzy baits catch fish. But do Strike King fuzzy baits catch fish? Now I've got a few different kinds here. So floating wise, I have like your regular, green pumpkin. And then I have smallmouth candy, which is kind of like a bronzish color. That's what I've got tied on right now, actually. And these are floating ones. And then I have salted ones. So these are going to sink. These are going to be a little bit heavier. White sauce colored. Grape whiskey, this is one of the colors I got at the Extreme Outdoors. As well as pearl flash. These are salted and they're a little bit heavier. They sink more, right? But you're probably thinking, okay, that little bitty bait ain't going to catch any fish. It does. It does. It catches a lot of fish, okay? And depending on how you fish these will depend on what kind of fish you get. So I use methods that I've seen anglers in Japan use that were walking the banks and catching fish using these kind of baits, right? Obviously, they were not using the Strike King Tumble Weed. Let me show you a couple ways to rig this up. First one, and probably the most obvious, is drop shot. Now I have the floating smallmouth candy on the drop shot. And depending on where you throw this thing, you're gonna catch everything. Everything from smallmouth, if you're throwing it in like 15 feet of water, kind of where they're hanging out at right now in the summertime. Or if you go back in these coves like I am right now, I can catch anything from crappie to bluegill, whatever. I'm going to catch it. And I'll just use this drop shot right here. And I'll throw it out here, like on the bank, right? And I'll just pop it a little bit. See, if you're trying to get these jig skirt hairs, right? Trying to get it to move around a little bit. That's going to entice that bass. That's going to make that bass want to bite that thing. But you can also, while it's on a drop shot, instead of just bouncing around, use it like a jerk bait with a twitch pause. And I'll see if I can get some shots of me doing that in the water. Not easy when it's this little. I'm not Steven Spielberg over here. So not easy for me to get good shots, but we'll see if we can. But that's how you're going to do it. So when you twitch pause it, think of it like a crawdad swimming away from a bass, right? He's pulling in his claws and he's going like that. So when you twitch, and then when you pause, all these skirts are going to open up, and it's going to be like, and he's going to want to bite it, right? But say you don't like throwing a drop shot. What's another way to do it? Here, I have not the Strike King Tumble Weed, okay? Because I'm Like I said, I like everything. This is the Emo Kamushi Cubon. Alton Jones Jr.'s design, actually. You can see quite a bit different there, right? Pretty big difference in how those are working. Bigger skirt, kind of really good. This one's really good for the jerk bait, twitch pause method, all right? Because it falls back and then expands really good. This one does it as well, but on a different approach. So this method, we have, it's not weightless, okay? This is not weightless. I've got it on a pretty big wacky hook. But in here, I have a nail weight, half of a nail weight, half of a lead nail weight. You break it in half, stick that nail weight in there, and then you're gonna take this hook and you're gonna hook it right above the nail weight so it's like tight, right? This is pushing against the nail weight. And then you're gonna throw that out there and let it sink, right? It's gonna sink. It's like a slow sinking bait. And then you can do the twitch pause with this thing. So when you twitch it, all these skirts are gonna go like this. It's like twitch, and then pause, right? That thing's going to get a bite. Another way I've been throwing this and have been having a really good time doing that is around laydowns, right? Like, I don't know if you can see right over here. Laydowns like that. I'll go over there and I'll throw this right on top of that. And if a bass is sitting under that, he is coming out to get this thing. He's going to eat that thing. Now, the reason I have the Emo Kamushi tied on right now is because I'm testing out which one gets bit better on which method. You have to test these things out. And the third method that I use that not a lot of people do, because it's kind of similar to the little nail weight inside with the hook pushing against it. A weighted wacky hook. And I'm going to tie on a white sauce color. I'm going to tie the white sauce color on it right now. Now, if you look on there, like, there's jig hair going through everything except for 2 parts of this die. And there's Strike King logos on each of those parts. So that's where you're going to rig it, right? So we're going to put this right through the one Strike King logo and take it right out the back of the other. Just like so. So it's kind of like a micro jig, right? Kind of like a micro jig. And you're probably thinking, why not just do a jig, right? Something different, okay? This is a little bit different how I use this, because when it's on the weighted wacky hook, I'll throw it just like I would a wacky worm, but let it sit, and then I'm going to snap that rod, right? And that thing's going to come through the water column and then go back down. Come through the water column and then go back down. I'm going to snap it. And when you snap it, they love to chase, right? We've been accustomed forever to let your bait sit, let them get it, right? But forward face sonar showed us, if you try to get your bait away from that fish as fast as possible, he's going to come and get it. If he wants that bait, if he wants that lure, he's coming for it. And the best way to do it is don't let him see it. Move it out of that. Move it away from him as fast as possible. And that's what I do with this. I throw it out there. Docks especially is really good. I'll throw it out there, let it sink, and snap it, right? If those fish are looking at it, when I snap it, they're coming after it. And you get bit quite often. Now, with any of these methods, all right, it is a little bait, okay? So you're going to catch everything from bluegill to crappie to smallmouth to dinks to, big largemouth. You're going to catch them all. Having a bait that catches all kinds of fish of all sizes is a great bait. You're getting it all. If I take my kids out, I'm going to put this on there, and I know no matter what, if we're getting skunked, I can't get them on some big old fish, I'm going to take this bait and I'm going to run the bank with it, and we're going to catch bluegill. Guaranteed, we're going to catch some bluegill running the bank in shallow water, in a cove, protected cove. When you're on these lakes in the middle of summer, on a tourist destination lake such as Table Rock, you got to get in the back of these coves sometimes when you're with your kids to try to fish, because You can't get on those main channel points. You ain't doing it. It ain't happening. Don't be scared of the fuzzy baits. Right? If you don't know how to throw it, if you're not sure on how to throw it, reach out. Send me a message. I'd be more than happy to talk about it. I love Japanese baits. I love fuzzy baits. I love talking about it. I like thinking outside the box and seeing if I can catch a fish different from everyone else. I don't like being like everyone else. So, with that being said, I'm sitting out here. I'm a ginger, and the sun is beating on me. I need to douse myself in some sunblock, and I'm going to go fishing. I'll see you next time.